Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off.
Pain does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei! Defeat does not exist in this dojo, does it? No, Sensei!
Check it on.
Mr. Han, I already...
Jack it on. Jack it off.
Dre, pick up your jacket.
It's Sister Craig on the
Welcome to the hangout. To the hangout. Welcome to the hangout.
Hey, that's right. It is that time again. You heard correctly. It is time for the Hangout Experience. And you know me. You know who I am, ladies and gentlemen. It is always that P-R-I-C-E. And unfortunately, my Yowie Wowie companion, X the Unannounced, could not be with us tonight. But we're going to hold it down because we just have to talk about what is called Karate Kid Legends, baby. But before we do that, please make sure you like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. And please, you know what we're trying to do. Help us get to these 500 subscribers. We get to the 500, baby. It's going to open up so much more opportunities for us to bring you so much more content. Because you know how we love to do here at the Hangout Experience. Here is the trailer for Karate Kid Legends.
Our traditions are rooted in history. Kung Fu, karate. The tree grows strong.
You knew Mr. Miyagi?
I did not come looking for Sensei Miyagi. I came looking for you. In life, you have only one question. Is it worth fighting for it? Or not? Lee means to me what you meant to Sensei Miyagi.
I'm doing this for all of us. Whatever it takes. Two branches. One tree.
That was the trailer for Karate Kid Legends. So check out the overview. After moving to New York City with his mother, Kung Fu prodigy Lee Fong struggles to let go of the past as he tries to fit in with his new classmates. When a new friend needs his help, Lee enters a karate competition, but his skills alone aren't enough. With help from Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso, he soon learns to merge two styles into one for the ultimate martial arts showdown. This movie was released on May 30th, 2025. The director is Jonathan Entwistle. And I may be saying that wrong, but I'm sorry, Jonathan, that is your name tonight. It was distributed by Sony Pictures, based on the original Karate Kid by Robert Mark Kamen. The budget was $45 million. So they aimed a little low, you know what I mean? Keeping it modest, right? Keeping it modest, just good. Because as we speak, so far the box office has made $47 million. So they're already $2 million over, you know, first weekend. Not bad, not bad. hey, if you was able to make that movie for 45 million, you already got your money back, you know, first weekend. That's lovely. I love it. You know how we got to do? We got to run into this cast real quick before we jump into this movie. So to familiarize you with everybody, for those who aren't, you know, Karate Kid fans and who've been keeping up with the lore, all right, you have Ralph Macchio, all right, the originator. Okay, this is the OG, the 1984 Karate Kid. This is the OG of this whole thing. Ralph Macchio playing Daniel LaRusso. He was from the what's called the Miyagi verse. Okay, so if you watch Cobra Kai, that is considered the Miyagi verse. Now, next up you have Jackie Chan, who's played Mr. Han. Now, Mr. Han was a mirror-ish type of character for Mr. Miyagi. And of course, Jaden Smith, who played in the 2010 Karate Kid, he was a mirror of Ralph Macchio. Like I said, you know, they had a formula, same kind of story, you know, this kid, fish out of water type of deal, right? You know, he's not from, you know, this area. He's not so happy that he left in the first place. He never wanted to move.
I'm not happy. I hate it here. I want to go home. This is home.
The mom is moving for a better life for her kid and herself. Something has happened with the dad. Now I will say in the original 1984 that I don't think they ever really explored what happened to his dad, but I think it's just inferred. Okay. But it's definitely said in the 2010 version, because there is a scene where he's, you know how you mark your kids, they growing older and you mark it on the little door frame. And at one point in time, it says the date that daddy died. So we do know that, you know, he lost his father. But both of them, you know, are being raised by a single mom. That single mom is just doing the best she can. And she's like, look, we're going to have to move. I know all your friends are here and I know you like it being here, but mama's trying to do what she can do, you know, for you and I, just the two of us. So yeah, if you see the trailer, you would know that Ben Wang, who plays Li Fong, they said introducing. So this is obviously his first movie. Right off, I will say this: it's hard to tell from the trailer because he's just doing a lot of karate and martial arts and so forth. But the kid has a lot of personality. And that is definitely what I was impressed with, because his job is to try to carry this movie. You know, he's taking over for the Daniel LaRussos and, you know, the Dreys from 2010 version. You know, he's that new Karate Kid. And first time I saw him on screen, I was like, okay, the kid has personality. So I will say for sure, you will be impressed by what you see the first time that he's on camera. And then we have, I gotta mention him, man, Joshua Jackson, man. I haven't really seen Joshua Jackson since Dawson's Creek. So for all my Dawson Creek fans out there, hey, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. It was very good seeing him. You know, he is definitely grown into himself. You know, he still looks like himself, but you know, an older version. But he looks like he belongs. You know, the part he's playing, he still has that personality where you like him. I used to like him in Dawson Creek, and I definitely like him in this movie. And I think he plays a very good role. He is playing the father of Sadie Stanley, who is playing Mia. And I will say that she is a New Yorker. She's a New Yorker, okay? This is a little different because we know that Allie, you know, Daniel LaRusso's, love interest, she was a California girl, you know what I mean? Very laid back and, you know, hey, how you doing? And hey, it's all good, you know, everything's all great. Mia's not like that. Mia is New York. And I definitely commend the directors for keeping that real, because you may feel one way or the other about her character and the way she goes about things in this movie, you know. But if you really think about it, I feel like it's true to a New York woman. All right, so she's definitely a contrast to Allie and to the Asian girl in the 2010 version. So, like I said, they decided to go in different directions with this movie, but it's still on the foundation of what was already built into the Karate Kid lore. For all my Star Trek fans out there, I just want to say Ming Na Wen, you know, she's playing his mother, Ben Wang's mother, and I thought she did a magnificent job, because most of the mothers in the Karate Kid movies, they have a very upbeat and bubbly kind of, you know, way about themselves. You know, hey baby, everything's gonna be great, and look at the palm trees, and look at, oh my God, and this, and you know, yeah, that's not this mama. That's not this mama, but that is because, just as I said in the Keela the Bee, go back and check that out, please, ladies and gentlemen. That was our Mother's Day special. But just like I said in Keela and the Bee with, you know, Angela Bassett's character, she didn't come off as a super nice mom, but that was for a reason. There were things that had happened in their lives to where she was like, I don't have time to be that. Okay, I got to make sure I keep food on the table, and I got to make sure that I keep you alive because of what we lost, you know, behind some foolishness that I do not want you getting involved with. And I feel like she bodied that role and played that to a T of, you know, how a mother may be, provided she's going through a situation like that. Okay, let's get to some fun stuff. All right, let me give you a couple of these facts, you know, things that you just don't know until you come to Hangout Experience, because you know they can't review it the way we do it, baby. Okay, so check this out, y'all. Check this out. The original Karate Kid was inspired by a real-life bullying incident experienced by screenwriter Robert Mark Kamen. Ralph Macchio, who played Daniel LaRusso, was 22 during filming, and the car Mr. Miyagi gives him was a gift from the producer that Macchio still owns. So that's pretty cool, because, you know, if you've kept up with this lore, he's had that car, you know, in Karate Kid 2 as well. He had that car in Cobra Kai series. Okay, and if you see the trailer, you would definitely see that car is still at that scene. So that is a really cool fact to know, that car still, you know, to this day. I mean, we talk about like 40 years, which, I mean, of course the car is way older than that, but as long as he has had it, that he didn't tear the car up or anything like that, still in pristine condition, that's pretty awesome. For all you Miyagi fans out there, the drunk Miyagi scene, I don't know if y'all remember that, when he was drunk and, you know, oh, I'm a Steve, when he was doing all that. Yes, that scene right there, I mean, that was on some Cuba Gooding Jr., you know, some of that, you know, when he punching the air and crying and all that, you know what I mean? When you try to get that Oscar, man, hey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to let it all out, baby. You know what I'm saying? So some studio executives, they wanted to cut that scene, but it's credited with getting Pat Morita an Oscar nomination, okay? And that's how you get an Oscar nomination. You feel what I'm saying? You got to cry. You know what I mean? You got to let a little slob come out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? A little snot run down your nose. You know what I mean? You got to earn this one now. You got to sell it. You got to sell it, baby. If you sell it, then they gonna nominate you. So yeah, just a shout out to Pat Morita, man. Pat Morita bodied the role of Miyagi, and everybody knows it. I feel like that's why they went in a different direction and didn't try to make Jackie Chan Mr. Miyagi, because come on, man, Pat he owns that role. So let him have it. You don't need to make a person a new Miyagi, because there can only be one. All right. Now, more about Ralph Macchio. He does know karate, because anybody's ever worked. Does the guy who played in the Karate Kid actually know karate? Well, Ralph Macchio does know karate, and he has even earned a black belt. He received training for his role in the Karate Kid, but initially he had very limited martial arts experience. But since then, he has become a black belt and continues to practice it to this day. So when you actually do see him in this movie, when you see him on Cobra Kai, and you see him doing this thing as a 60-year-old man, that man actually knows karate. And he actually has a black belt, you know, not the leather kind. All right. We're talking the cloth. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing his thing. Now, Jackie Chan, on the other hand, we already know, man. Come on, man. This is Mr. Rush Hour himself. You know what I'm saying? Lee.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You know, this is him. Come on, man. We already know how that boy do it, man. You know, he's been in the game, man, for a long time. Jackie Chan is familiar with karate, though it's not his primary style. He has trained in various martial arts styles, including karate, along with Hapkido, Judo, Jeet Kune Do, and Kung Fu. His signature fighting style is a fusion of all these styles, emphasizing agility, acrobatics, and humor. He also trained in Northern and Southern Kung Fu styles. So, my boy, Jackie Chan, you know what it is, man. You know what it is. Now, of course, he's not as agile and, you know what I mean, as he used to. He's not gonna be doing all those crazy stunts. He doesn't have to. He's already earned his stripes. He don't need to. But with them hands and the way he moves, he still got that. Please believe it. That ain't went nowhere. He still got that, y'all. Trust. Okay. What do y'all want to know about Karate Kid Legends? Well, check this out, y'all. So going into the movie, I don't know what to expect. I'm like, okay, are we going to get some Cobra Kai in this? Are we going to get, how many people are we going to, are they going to bring back? Because now, like I said, the word legends to me infers that, hey, you're going to have some real straight up Kung Fu, Karate Kid legends in this movie. Now, you know how we do here. I'm not going to spoil the movie. You know that. But what I will say is there a surprise in this movie? There's a surprise in this movie. What that surprise is, I ain't gonna tell you. You're gonna have to go and see for yourself. Because we were surprised, Timmy and I. And it was like, okay, I'm cool with that. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, you gotta go experience that for yourself. But let's just say, stay through the entire movie. All right, make sure you wait for the end. But now, one thing I will tell you though, because I'm telling you this because I'm your friend. I promise you. I promise you, I'm telling you this because I'm your friend, and I don't want you to go in there expecting certain things. Okay, trailers can be a little misleading. We always talk about that here on the Hangout Experience. They can be a little misleading. And when I say that, I'll say that you see Daniel LaRusso all over this trailer. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. All right, temper your expectations here. Because unfortunately, Daniel LaRusso does not appear until the hour mark. Now, if you have looked at this movie is nothing really but about an hour and a half. So yeah. Now, like I said, I'm telling you this because I'm your friend and I love you, okay? So, just understand that Daniel LaRusso does not appear into this movie until after the hour mark. So basically, if you was expecting him the whole way, yeah, that ain't happening. But what I will say is his entrance is good. It feels like he's coming straight off of the set of Cobra Kai. When I saw him, it still felt like that older Daniel LaRusso from Cobra Kai. And I was cool with it because I was wondering, and I think everybody's wondering, like, how are they going to do it? Because they just won the tournament. And my boy, shout out to my boy Martin from Double Toasted, because he called it the Mortal Kombat tournament. You know what I'm saying? So that was hilarious. But anybody that watched Cobra Kai, y'all already know what we're talking about. So just temper your expectations when it comes to Daniel LaRusso. All you Daniel LaRusso fans, just temper your expectations. But moving on. There's something that does happen in the very beginning of this movie. For all you that's thinking, how many of the movies do I need to watch? Because technically there's Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3. Then there's the next Karate Kid with, Hilary Swank in it. And then right after that, there's the 2010 Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan Karate Kid. How many of those movies should you watch before this one? Just like we told you about Mission Impossible, there are certain movies that will absolutely reference this movie. Now, here's the funny part about it. I thought initially, let me watch the first Karate Kid. because that introduces Daniel LaRusso. And then let me watch the first Karate Kid 2010 because that introduces Mr. Han. Yeah, I'm going to retract and say, how about this? How about watch at least the Karate Kid Part 2 with Ralph Macchio, and then definitely watch the 2010 version of the Karate Kid with Jackie Chan. Now, if you do that, you will absolutely be up on everything that you need to know as far as what this particular movie references. I haven't seen a Karate Kid yet that was an Asian kid. We always had an American, protagonist in Daniel LaRusso, and then another American antagonist with Hilary Swank's character, and then of course with Jaden Smith's character. This is the first time that our Karate Kid is Asian. And I was all for it. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm cool with that. This style, that's where it started. So, in Asia. So yeah, that gives it its authenticity for me. Great. Now, the next thing is to be familiar with, if you are watching this trailer, this Karate Kid actually comes with some karate. So that is the first thing that is a little different. Not a spoiler, by the way. You know this from the trailer. And it's different. It's different watching someone who is trained a little bit. And I think that is where we see the difference in this particular movie, is that he started off with skills that none of the other protagonists started off with, but he's not completely skilled. He still has room to grow. And I think that's where we are with our protagonist, Ben Wang. Like I said, I like this kid. I do. I like this kid. And of course, just to even keep it even more authentic, we start off in China. And that right there is different in itself. Because even with Jaden Smith's character, he went to China, but he didn't start off in China. So we are actually starting off in China and we're moving to New York. So just like I said, just some different things going on, different ways they tried to bring us across, but also just kind of keep that same format. And I'm like, okay. Now for me, I'll tell y'all right now, the movie started off strong. It started off strong. I was like, okay, not too bad. Here's what I will say about this. I have liked all of the antagonists so far, whether it's Johnny Lawrence, whether it's my boy from the second one, can't remember his name right now, but we know he ended up in Cobra Kai as well, but he was the antagonist in Karate Kid too. All these people had personality, right? They had a thing. Okay, they had a thing that those antagonists where you love to hate them, right? You can't stand them, but you love them too, though, because they just so charismatic. They're a bad guy, and it's, oh my God, you want the person to beat them up or win or whatever, but you kind of like them though. Yeah, that's not this guy. That's not this guy at all. We are talking about a one-dimensional antagonist here. Okay, that's not a lot of story to him. There's not a lot going on up there. He just comes off as an angry guy. But believe me when I tell you, the dude has a major chip on his shoulder, and that's it. There's no reason why at all. I think he is absolutely the most least explored character on there, fleshed out character. He is so one-dimensional. He has one purpose in this film, and that is pretty much to try to beat up Ben Wang's character. Li Fong is dealing with things that happened or things he didn't do at that moment that he's blaming himself for. And this is possibly what's keeping him from crossing over that threshold that he needs to cross over to become the complete martial artist that he should be. The boy has skills for sure, but you can definitely tell there's something holding him back. And we definitely learn what that is in this movie as we progress along in the movie. And so I guess because of that, that is why he can basically beat up grown men because that's pretty much what happens. He can beat up grown men, but for some reason, this kid who is in the same grade that he's in and same age and however, yeah, he just can't do it. He just can't do it. And apparently this kid here is so raw, you know, the antagonist, that he has grown men afraid of him. So it's a super weird thing. Now, of course, again, not spoiling this for you guys. But like we do know, Daniel LaRusso comes in. You know, he's definitely going to come in. We also know from the trailers that Jackie Chan is going to be the one that, you know, goes to get him. And some kind of way, ladies and gentlemen, some kind of way, if you are wondering, how does Jackie Chan know Mr. Miyagi? I thought these was completely two different universes. So you mean to tell me that there was a Mr. Miyagi training Daniel LaRusso, and there was a Jackie Chan somewhere off in China training a Jaden Smith? And yeah, this actually happened. This is the same universe, ladies and gentlemen. This is not Marvel. They didn't. This is not the multiverse. You know, this is actually happening. And the way that they decided to meld the two characters together, I have to give them hats off because they totally make sense. And I'm telling you, that's why I say at least watch the Karate Kid 2 with Ralph Macchio in it, because the way they intertwine certain things that happened in that movie to what happened in this movie, it was genius. It was genius. I was highly impressed with that because I didn't know how they was going to make that make sense. And I think that all of us Karate Kid fans, even Cobra Kai's and everything else, I think we can live with the rationale that they had to say, well, this is how they know each other. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. Because if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Miyagi, who literally pointed out that Okinawa is a little bit under Japan, would make him closer to, you know, to the Japanese culture, whereas Jackie Chan is Chinese. And if you watch any kind of Bruce Lee movies or old Kung Fu movies or whatever, you know that, yeah, the Japanese and Chinese didn't really get along like that. So for these two characters to have to get along and their families know each other and so forth and so on, they had to make it make sense. And I personally walked away feeling like I can live with that. That makes sense to me. But again, like I said, Karate Kid 2 and the original and the 2010 Karate Kid, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to keep up with what's going on. So now I know what a lot of you are thinking. I know what y'all are thinking. Oh, I know what y'all thinking. So, does any of the Cobra Kai people pop up in this movie?
Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir! I can't hear you! Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir!
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you, okay? I'm not going to tell you that because I really do want you to just watch this movie and be surprised or be disappointed, you know, on your own. I don't want to spoil that for you. Here's what I will tell you though. Is there a missed opportunity in this film? There is absolutely a missed opportunity in this film. There are so many ways they could have gone with this film. There are so many things they could have added. So many characters they could have added in this film that would have definitely made it a different film. Now, would it have made it a better film? That absolutely is subjective, and that has to be your opinion. You may look at this film and say, oh man, this is perfect. This is exactly the way it should have gone. You know, this is exactly how it should have been directed. The filmography, everything. And then there's going to be some of us who have grown up with this movie since the 80s. And we're going to say, because here's what I'll say. Cobra Kai totally opened up what's called the Miyagi-verse. Completely opened it up. And the way they brought back what we call legacy characters, it was phenomenal. It was so exciting watching how are they going to bring this person back and what has this person been doing for the past 30 years, and they always made it make sense. Always made it make sense. And so there's going to be some of us that are looking for them to do that in this film, the way they did it in Cobra Kai. Now, I'm going to say this is not a bad movie. If you've been sticking around this long to find out, Price, is it good or is it bad? Is it, you're beating around the bush here. You just tell me. I just want to know, is it good or bad? I will tell you, it is not a bad movie. You get to decide on how good of a movie it is or how bad of a movie it isn't. But, man, I wish they would have. Or don't you think they should have? Well, here's what I think you'll do. If you're a true Karate Kid fan, you know all the lore. You even read some of the comics. You might have even watched the one season of the cartoon that they had, okay? And yes, they did have a Karate Kid cartoon, for real. You may say, man, if that was me, you know what? How I would have done it? Man, I would have had this happen. I would have had that person come in. Oh, they could have did this. And they could have done that. I think you will walk out of this movie saying that. That doesn't make it a bad movie. It just means that you love this franchise and this lore so much that they show you the possibilities of what it also could have been. And that's how we walked out of this film feeling like, man, yeah, that wasn't bad. But, oh man, if they could have just done this, and this. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Just don't waste my time. And I have to say, I don't feel like they wasted my time. I feel like they opened my mind to what could have been and what I personally wanted, and that's fine, But they gave me something that I feel like, okay, they honored Daniel LaRusso, they honored Mr. Han, and they have left it open to bring more. So if you guys want more and you decide, hey man, I'm gonna go support this movie, then go support that movie. If you make it a hit, guess what they'll do? The Karate Kid Legends Part 2. That's just how this goes. Supply and demand, baby. So if you want some more, let them know. And if you want more Cobra Kai, let them know. I know y'all know we got to give you a number. We got to let you know, how do we personally feel about this movie? Like I said, you have a one-dimensional bad guy. I promise you, when you leave this movie, you're not going to remember that guy. You're not. You may remember maybe a karate move he did, maybe, but you're not going to remember that guy the way that you remember Johnny Lawrence to this day. And not just because they brought him on Cobra Kai. Johnny Lawrence was that dude, back in the day. He's just not going to stay with you. Now, Ben Wang's character, Li Fong, he will, because the kid has charisma. He really does. I was very much impressed with this kid. And I think he definitely has a future in not only in acting, but also in martial arts. So it'll be fun to see in what direction he goes to next. And I definitely wouldn't mind seeing him in a Karate Kid Legends Part 2 if they decided to go that way. His love interest, as I told you, she's New York. She is definitely New York, and she lets you know it for sure. All the New Yorkers, they may be like, oh, she is right on point with exactly the way she would have acted and everything. I think the dynamic between them is a little different than Daniel LaRusso and let's say Ali. There was a sweetness to them. You know what I mean? It was like a cute couple type of deal to them. With them, there's some energy between them, but you don't know if she's really feeling this guy. You know what I mean? Or like she says in the movie, she literally says, I want you to be my next mistake. Which is kind of how it sounded. I mean, seriously, when y'all see this movie, I'm telling you, I'm not playing. There's a way she says it that's kind of like, let me let you be my next mistake. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, it's a little weird, but y'all have to see it for yourself. When you see this movie, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. So it throws you off a little bit. You don't get that same sweet, cute couple-ish vibe from these two characters. So for that, it kind of takes me out of it a little bit. It's a little hard. There's a little bit of a hard sell that those two will still be together after this movie. You know what I mean? Like if they don't make it, you're kind of like, yeah, I can see that. You know. Now my boy Joshua Jackson, he bodied his role. Man. He was fun. Every time he was on the camera, on the screen, you know, I was definitely rooting for him. He was very entertaining. Definitely made me want to go back and watch some Dawson Creek episodes. He still has the chops, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a Joshua Jackson fan, you will definitely enjoy him in this movie for sure. Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio, Mr. Han, Jackie Chan. I mean, come on, man. What else do I have to say? It's them. Okay? It's them. They showed up. They do what they do. Please believe it. They still got it. They still got the chops. I've followed, you know, Ralph Macchio all the way back to Outsiders, man. You know what I'm saying? From Outsiders to Karate Kid, you know, to My Cousin Vinny. Come on, man. My Cousin Vinny. Come on, man. I know some of y'all close to my age and y'all listen to this. I know y'all know My Cousin Vinny, man. Come on now. My boy still does his thing. He's Ralph Macchio, man. Come on. Still has the chops. And, you know, what do you say about Jackie Chan? Jackie Chan has been entertaining us for a long, long time, man. Long time. And to see where he is at the age that he's at now, still active, still able to entertain, still able to be humorous. It makes you love Jackie Chan. I mean, I you know, you hold a special place in your heart for Jackie Chan because we lost Bruce Lee super early, right? And Bruce Lee was that dude. But Jackie Chan wasn't Bruce Lee. I mean, he was super talented with his martial arts, but he threw enough humor in there to just really just make him a very, very entertaining martial artist. And you just kind of flock to whatever movie he was going to be in. Jackie Chan is still Jackie Chan, but of course, I mean, come on, he's not Tom Cruise, right? You know, so he's not hanging off of airplanes out here, but he's still doing his thing, and it's really good to see him on screen. So I say that to say that you should definitely go see this movie. And I don't know how you will feel about it. I don't know if you'll walk away feeling satisfied or feeling like you needed a little bit more, but you won't feel like it was a bad movie. So I have to give this movie at least a 7.7. I think that this movie could have definitely gone in a different direction. I think there are other opportunities and other characters they could have taken advantage of. That would have been a really cool Easter egg for other people. They decided against it. That doesn't mean that they won't come with that in part 2. They might come with it in part 2. But for now, The Karate Kid Legends is what you have. And if you're looking for a good movie that continues the lore, go see this movie. Go see this movie for sure. And just let us know. Like I said, let us know what you think. Okay? Because we are definitely here for you. Definitely here to talk. That's what we do. That's why we hang out. That's the whole purpose of it. The purpose is to hang out. We don't just give you the review. We want to hang out with you and we want to talk about this movie, right? Like, remember that time and remember this movie he played in? That's what we do here. That's what we do. So I appreciate y'all for sure, man. But you know, I can't leave you without leaving you up the QOTD. That is the quote of the day, ladies and gentlemen. And that reads, you don't meet people by accident. There's always a reason, a lesson, or a blessing. And that is very true. There's no coincidences, y'all. I don't believe in coincidences. I do not. I believe that God provides us with opportunities. He opens some doors, okay? And sometimes we don't see it. We can't see the knob, but it's there. There is no coincidence. These things do happen for a reason. And even when something bad happens, that's a lesson. There is a lesson there. I promise you, as bad as it seems, there's a lesson there. Even if it is to never do that thing again, the lesson is always there. Baby, it is that hangout mantra. It's not the quantity of people. It's the quality. I got to shout out Timmy, the producer, real quick. Like I said, last week or last episode, I would say, she had her son, Zane, graduate. But what I didn't say was there are a bunch of graduates this year. So all you graduates out there, Congratulations. Congratulations to you all. Definitely shout out my niece Erilyn, Thomas out there, so Mad Eye, if you listening, Daisy, if y'all listening, great job. Y'all did a magnificent job. Congratulations to you, Erilyn. Absolutely. But there are a bunch of them. Got cousins, nieces, everybody, little nephews, everybody is graduating this year. So congratulations to you, graduates. Got to give another shout out to X the Unannounced. Please believe he will be here for our next one, and stick around, okay? Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.